is Rampage, baby. This the show that y'all been waiting on. Adrenaline pumping your chest. This is Rampage, yeah. This is Rampage, chill.
This is Rampage!
It's Friday. You know what that means. AEW Rampage New Year's Smash is coming to you from Daly's Place here in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm Excalibur, joined by Tony Schiavone and the FTW champion, Absolute Ricky Starks, and we are diving right into the action here tonight on New Year's Eve.
What a great time to be a fan of All Elite Wrestling. What a great way to ring out 2021 than being here with you, Excalibur, and you, Ricky Starks, for this duo to come out.
Your opening contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Being accompanied by the icon Sting from Seattle, Washington, weighing 175 pounds, Darby Allin.
Ricky Starks, I know you've got a lot of history with Sting and Darby Allin, some complicated feelings between these two men.
You said that right, Excalibur, but guess what? At the end of the day, I still respect both of them.
Talk about a total lack of respect.
And his opponent, Anthony Bowens.
Top of the chain, so I bet you know the name. Getting all the fans.
Listen.
Acclaimed. Running in the game.
Listen. Yo.
Everybody saying
Yo.
they wanna be
Acclaim, we about to make this loser drop, cause he just a little prick like the booster shot. Darby got the wackest ink. You like to hang with Sting, you got a daddy kink. Hey yo Sting, you just part-time. Your ring time's way lower than your sex drive. Bowens will beat your ass well, putting y'all away like Ghislaine Maxwell. Lock her up! Jacksonville! The Acclaimed have arrived!
Ricky, you like that stuff, don't you, buddy?
I loved it. I love his raps. That's talent.
Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, the Acclaimed, one of the top tag teams here in AEW, but the team of Sting and Darby Allin, Tony, are undefeated.
Undefeated, and they are so close. They trust each other so well. Sting, when he first arrived, says there's one person that reminds me of me from years ago. And it's the man rising to his feet right now, Darby Allin.
Of course, this will be a one-on-one affair to kick off Rampage. New Year's Smash here tonight. And just a programming reminder, AEW Rampage will be remaining right here on TNT. But starting this Wednesday, January 5th, AEW Dynamite will be moving to our new home on the mothership on TBS. Tony, that's got to feel pretty good for you to be back on TBS.
Can't wait. I was first on TBS in 1985 was my first time there. And it has always been the home of great pro wrestling. Great to be back.
The TBS era of AEW Dynamite starts next Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific for our fans on the West Coast. Very nice explosivity there from Darby Allin. He avoided the chop block from Bowens.
You know, one of the things about Darby that I like is he's able to quickly adapt to his opponents. In the middle of the ring, he's able to adapt so quick.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good opponent here too, Ricky. A guy who is just a phenomenal athlete, Anthony Bowens.
You got to give it up to Bowens as well. I think him and Caster are a very great tag team, actually.
Yeah, they complement each other so well, but so does the duo, the team of Sting and Darby Allin. Nice back heel trip by Bowens. Bowens using his strength. Darby firing those shoulders up off the canvas.
Uh-oh.
Got the leverage advantage here too, but look at Darby just power up. That takes some great strength in itself. Oh. And Darby, boy, look how quick this kid is.
Takes Bowens down, steps over. Mahi Straw looking for a quick end here too. Whoa, just a one. Just a one, and Bowens clears out, puts some distance between himself and Darby Allin.
When we think of Darby Allin, Excalibur, we think of durability, but there's much more to Darby Allin than just that.
Well, you know.
We mentioned the start of the TBS era. this Wednesday night coming up. We will be in the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey this Wednesday night. Tickets still available right now, AEWTIX.com. And we will be returning to Cleveland, Ohio on Wednesday, January 26th at the Wolstein Center. Tickets for that event on sale as well, AEWTIX.com.
Ready to come back to the tri-state area in Newark, New Jersey. Look forward to Cleveland. We're going to have a big month of January to begin 2022.
I'm actually really excited to make my debut in New Jersey, Tony.
Knife edge chop to the chest from New Jersey's own Anthony Bowens.
You sound excited.
Well, you know, it's hard to hide my emotions, honestly.
I can tell that, man.
But you know what's funny? You can't hide the hatred that Bowens has for Darby. That's what I like, too. And Bowens loves for the Daly's Place. Let's go.
Daly's Place, our home for so many months, and still to come here tonight on Rampage New Year's Smash. The street fight, Ty Conti and Anna Jay versus the Bunny and Penelope Ford, and our main event, Cody Rhodes defends the TNT Championship against All Ego. Ethan Page, of course, Arn Anderson in Cody's corner, Dan Lambert from American Top Team in Ethan Page's.
Yeah, a great card, Excalibur. We've had 57 episodes of Dynamite here at Daly's Place in Jacksonville. But tonight is our very first episode of Rampage, originating here at our home, Daly's Place in Jacksonville. Watch out!
And this is the very last episode of Pro Wrestling this year. We want to thank you for spending your New Year's Eve with us as Darby Allin and Anthony Bowens off to a red-hot start here tonight on Rampage. Oh, Darby! Oh, my God! Darby colliding with the ring post. The action here on AEW Rampage will continue for the next 90 seconds in picture-in-picture. Don't go anywhere because you won't miss a moment of this tremendous opening contest.
Okay, look, we got time for one play. Let's do this.
Coach, I got this. I watch tons of live sports on Sling TV. Hook shot from half court. They won't see that coming. Turtles on 3!
Sling has live sports, news, and entertainment. It's the best of live TV for just $35 a month. Be confident you're getting the best of live TV. Maybe too confident. Try it free. Sling.
Introducing the all-new Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar. It combines shaving and gentle exfoliation into one efficient stroke for a shave as quick and easy as washing your face.
I'm starving. Who's cooking today?
Rodriguez.
Ooh, Rodriguez? You know he's in there cooking like a mother.
Ragu. Reach for the sauce that started in an Italian mother's kitchen. Ragu sauce. Cook like a mother.
Go big and go home.
When the competition is this dangerous.
Have the EMTs on standby.
Go Big Show Season 2 is insane.
Wow. You got this.
Is my PP okay?
Go Big Show. New season premieres Thursday at 9 on TBS.
AEW Rampage back here on TNT. Darby Allin and Anthony Bowens starting things off, and just before we went to picture-in-picture, Darby Allin crashed and burned into the ring post.
Oh, yeah. I thought at first he hit his head on the top of the ring post, but it was the elbow. And give Bowens credit, man. He has taken the fight right to this kid.
And Ricky, as we saw in picture-in-picture, Bowens concentrating on that arm of Darby Allin.
And that's very smart technique by Bowens. I would have done the same thing.
Darby using his speed. Escapes out of the corner, and now the coffin splash. No, Bowens counters with the waist lock.
Smart.
Darby fires back, picks the ankle of Bowens. Darby on the hop. Goes through, 2 count on the jackknife. Darby, once again, the cradle, 2 count.
Just perpetual motion. You can't take a breath when Darby's up against you. It was the elbow. And give Bowens credit, man. He has taken the fight right to this kid.
And Ricky, as we saw in picture-in-picture, Bowens concentrating on that arm of Darby Allin.
And that's very smart technique by Bowens. I would have done the same thing.
Darby using his speed. Escapes out of the corner, and now the coffin splash. No, Bowens counters with the waist lock.
Smart.
Darby fires back, picks the ankle of Bowens. Darby on the hop. Goes through, 2 count on the jackknife. Darby Once again, the cradle, 2 count.
Just perpetual motion. You can't take a breath when Darby's up against you.
Bowens trying to raise Darby up. Darby, combination, headbutt to the midsection.
He is so quick.
Oh, back elbow. What a combo from Bowens there.
Oh my God, he's out.
Yeah, Bowens, great return of fire that time.
And NHL's annual New Year's party is back, and this time it's on TNT. Watch the St. Louis Blues face off against the Minnesota Wild in the 2020 Discover NHL Winners Classic tomorrow. Coverage begins on TNT at 6 p.m. Eastern, and our own CM Punk will be joining the broadcast for the Winter Classic. Bowens, the lateral press.
You know, that tattoo Darby has, relentless, it's ringing true right now for him.
Darby is one of the toughest athletes in not just pro wrestling, but in the world. He is a man that can endure, he can absorb so much punishment, but he is, at the end of the day, still human, Ricky. Even Darby Allin has his breaking point.
Absolutely, but also, too, don't say in the world. You haven't seen me get my ass kicked, pal. I do it with grace and style and humility, because I'm a humble man.
That's the AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page about that one.
All right.
Big right hand to the jaw of Bowens. And now Darby Allin headed up to the top.
Oh, no.
Darby thinking coffin drop. No!
Wasted too much time that time.
I think Darby, due to that damage to that left arm, was having trouble steadying himself up on the top, Tony.
Bowens going to take advantage of it. Uh-oh.
Bowens looking for that DDT. Oh!
This is it. He's got him.
Darby Allin. 2. No.
Yeah, you know what? He cost himself a win that time, maybe.
I agree with you, Tony.
Watch this. Bowens lands the arrival on Darby Allin.
Yeah, after that maneuver, I don't think he needed to go to the ropes.
Darby, though, so tough. Still to come here tonight on our broadcast. It has come to this. The street fight on Rampage. Anna Jay and Ty Conti team up to take on the Bunny and Penelope Ford, and our main event, the newly crowned TNT champion Cody Rhodes will defend against All Ego Ethan Page.
And tonight here on Rampage, Technique by Taz returns as he takes a special look at the young sensation named Hook.
Jaw first into the turnbuckle, and
what's this?
Darby jamming the hand of Bowens into the ring post. And now look at this Darby.
Oh my God.
Stomping on the hand. Bryce Remsburg. Whoa. Darby hung on to the final moment to avoid disqualification.
I kind of questioned that by Bryce. That technically wasn't in the ring.
It was still an illegal tactic, but right now, Darby, whoa.
Thank God for friends. Wait a minute.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Thank God for Sting.
The Icon sweeps Max Caster off the ring apron. And Sting is just so powerful. But right now, Bowens turning the tables on Darby.
Return the favor, but look out.
Darby just dropped face first on the ring apron after his shoulder was smashed into the steel ringside barricade.
Your boy.
Good point by Sting. I don't know if you heard him. Excalibur Bowens said, look at your boy, and Sting said, well, look at your boy.
What do you do, Stinger?
There's war of words erupting on the outside. Expect nothing less from the Acclaim. Oh! Code Red 2, no! And that's the danger that Darby Allin possesses. He can change a match in the blink of an eye, Tony.
Yeah, and that's durability that we talked about earlier. Whoa! He took them both out.
Darby Allin, like he was shot out of a cannon, takes out Max Caster and Anthony Bowens on the outside. The Acclaim laid to waste, and now Darby Allin could be the coffin drop. Bowens with nowhere to go. Darby hooks the leg and scores the win.
The winner of this match, Darby Allin.
You're always just a coffin drop away from a loss. That was a hell of a fight for our first Rampage ever from Daly's Place after 57 Dynamites here.
Wait a second.
Andrade El Idolo, and I don't get this.
Andrade El Idolo, appreciative of the efforts of Darby Allin.
Sting!
And Sting just got decked by the Acclaim.
Oh my God!
They hit him right in the side of the head with that boombox.
And now the Acclaim descending on Darby Allin, a 2-on-1 beatdown after Sting was blindsided.
Uh-oh, he's got the chain.
Oh, no.
Max Caster with that chain wrapped around his right hand. Oh! What a shot!
What a cheap shot on both ends.
Owens and Caster getting the last laugh here tonight. Coming up next on Rampage, the street fight. The bad blood boils over. Penelope Ford and the Bunny take on Ty Conti and Anna Jay next.
There is a momentum that can't be stopped.
We reshape what wrestling should be.
The place where real professional wrestling lives.
Now it's the next chapter.
The best talent, the best minds, the best wrestling.
AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite, the TBS premiere live at 8.
Let's break down this former NCAA Division I athlete, the cold-hearted, handsome devil named Hook. Now, Hook invented this first throw called the El Camino Suplex. Please note the drop step into a crotch lift, which takes the opponent's base completely away, then the powerful hip flow into a great back off. Now the side head and arm suplex, a very difficult throw to apply. Hook giving up roughly 65 pounds to his opponent, but it doesn't matter with proper technique along with explosivity. Lastly, Hook's finishing hold is a judo choke named the Kata Hajime. You might remember it as the Taz Mission. It is now rebranded Red Rum. This extremely powerful single wing choke, as his opponent's legs are immobilized, stops the blood circulation entering the opponent's brain, causing rapid dizziness, creating a quick tap out. The evolution of this hybrid athlete is something of a phenomenon. Keep your eyes on Hook.
Well, the Team Taz Dojo does not close for the holidays. Taz and Hook preparing for their next conquest.
Hook's a sensation in AEW, and speaking of sensational, this fight's going to be wild. So much bad blood between these four women.
This is a street fight. Approaching the ring, the Bunny and Penelope Ford.
Well, here's one thing, Excalibur. The brass knuck's pretty much legal here tonight.
Yeah, no disqualifications, no countouts. This is a street fight. And while we have seen Ty Conti and Anna Jay pick up wins over the Bunny and Penelope Ford, it's always the Bunny and Penelope that have the last laugh, courtesy of those brass knucks.
Ty Conti and Anna Jay.
Ty Conti and Anna Jay with some wonder in hand.
No time wasted.
Penelope just got wiped out in a street fight. Kicking off here tonight.
Told you she's got the nuts.
Oh, smart. But Anna Jay blocked the nuts with the chair. And the street fight might be over before it started.
Oh my, there is a lot of animosity between these four women. Street fight, you might as well call it a death match.
Yeah, that's what makes street fights great, Ricky. Animosity.
Whoa, look at this, Ty Conti, Anna Jay.
Getting right to it.
Yes, absolutely get right to it. Get the table, get it out right now.
And the table set up on the outside of the ring. As the Bunny, she got rocked by those brass knuckles from Anna Jay.
She's still out.
Yeah, she is.
And Penelope Ford. Oh! Penelope breaks the grip of Anna and sends Anna face first into the ring post.
Hey, Penelope's a fighter, man.
Whoa!
Penelope Ford, guys, is one of the most improved wrestlers in AEW, a legitimate star and on the verge of becoming a top star. Tonight could be the night she breaks through. Look at this on the table.
Landed that pump kick on Ty Conti, and now Penelope taking advantage of that table. Wait a sec. Penelope Ford, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
Penelope. Oh my God. The moonsault knee drop. And the table didn't break, but the face of Ty Conti might have.
Yeah. Holy hell. I'm with you.
What?
Oh no.
Penelope with the glass bottle.
Yeah, why not break a bottle over her head? After you crush your head on the table, break a bottle over it.
Hey, I'm not opposed to it.
Oh! The bottle to the side of the head of Ty Conti. Penelope can end it right here.
She is so vicious.
Oh, wait, look at this, the bunny.
Sweetie, but you still look beautiful.
The bunny, a bloody mess after those brass knucks from Anna Jay.
Penelope said, you still look beautiful, don't worry about it.
Great words of encouragement there by Penelope.
Right.
But oh my God, look at that.
Oh God, I'm telling you, Bunny is...
What?
Whoa.
Another table.
Well, that's a well-designed table, I must say.
It's like a scene out of Carrie.
It is.
And the bunny.
Oh my God.
Even more fearsome than usual.
We've always said she's whacked, and I don't think there's any question. You get blood flowing in her face.
Oh my God.
The beer bottle to the side of the head of Ty Conti.
Yeah, that combination of that table and the beer bottle, she cannot even stand here, Excalibur.
I think she's out. She's out on her feet. Uh-oh. What is this?
Penelope Ford setting up the tables, the chairs along with the bunny. This street fight, part of our New Year's Eve edition of AEW Rampage.
Wow.
And still to come, our main event, Cody Rhodes defends the TNT Championship against All Ego Ethan Page. Tony, how wild is this match? How wild is this fight?
Yeah, Anna Jay's going to take advantage of this. Oh, good God.
Jesus.
She broke her in half with that. This is nuts.
Well, this street fight will continue in picture-in-picture. Don't go away.
High expectations.
No pun intended.
3, 2, 1.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
Welcome to season 2 of the Go Big Show.
36 mind-blowing acts.
Oh, wow.
Only one will win.
Please don't try this at home. Oh.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
That's terrifying.
I can never give up.
You're one step closer to $100,000. Can you go bigger?
Everybody hands go up. And they stay there. And they stay there. And they stay there.
Are you wearing a cup? This man is not cheating.
Go Big Show. New season premieres Thursday at 9 on TBS.
Icy hot. Ice works fast. Heat makes it last. Feel the power of contrast therapy. So you can rise from pain. Icy hot.
Spider-Man No Way Home is the best Marvel movie of all time.
Well, I'm in.
And is now certified fresh with incredible scores on Rotten Tomatoes.
Maybe run it by us next time you break the universe. Deal.
Rated PG-13 in theaters now.
And Doug.
Superpowers from a spider bite. I could use some help showing the world how Liberty Mutual customizes their car insurance, so they only pay for what they need. Did it work? Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Spider-Man No Way Home in theaters December 17th. Introducing the all-new Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar. It combines shaving and gentle exfoliation into one efficient stroke for a shave as quick and easy as washing your face.
Tyson boneless buffalo bites have that tasty kick of flavor, so they're perfect for any get-together. If there are any left when your guests arrive. Tyson Anytizers Chicken. More kicks of flavor, more smiling snackers, more to love. Tyson.
We're back here tonight on Rampage where the street fight rages on. The Bunny and Penelope Ford taking on Anna Jay and Ty Conti. Anna looking for the Queen Slam, but the Bunny just drove Anna Jay through the table in the corner.
My God, look at the table. Look at the carnage.
You know, Anna Jay knew she was in harm's way. Even when she jumped on the back, she realized the table was behind her.
And the bunny pulling Anna out from the corner. The bunny looking to make an end to it here. The far leg hook, 2, no!
The packed crowd here at Daly's place is letting these women know what they feel, that this is awesome.
Uh-oh, it's ladder time, and that's, oh my God!
Who got the worst of that one?
I was saying ladder is not good for anyone, and they just proved my point.
Penelope Ford just rocked Anna Jay.
I hope the blood isn't in it. Uh-oh.
Well, I know what this is without even guessing.
The bunny with the black canvas bag.
There's already pieces of
glass.
wood and everything.
It's the glass from the bottle that was broken over Ty Conti's head.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The thumbtacks.
No, this is too much.
The thumbtacks being spread out, but that is just how much these women despise one another. They are going to these lengths here tonight in this street fight.
Look at it. Everyone is standing here. No one is sitting down in this match.
They have not taken a seat since this match has started.
This is not a match. This is a street fight.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my God.
Anna Jay climbing to the top. The bunny.
Now, both are going to end up, if this works, both are going to end up getting into the...
Oh, my God, Dax!
Both bunny took the brunt of it, but Anna Jay got him in her back as well. Look at that. Both girls.
And this crowd at Daly's place taking the words right out of my mouth. Anna Jay making the crawl, makes the cover. Oh, Penelope broke it up.
And then she got her hands into the thumbtacks as well. It's crazy.
Whoa. Penelope, Ty Conti, and now Penelope coming over the top to stomp. Oh, another stomp.
How freaking vicious is this?
These women hate each other.
Boy, that's an understatement.
And now, Penelope, oh wait, no, Ty breaks free, elbow. And Ty wearing the crimson mask.
Oh my God.
Oh no, what is this?
Ty Conti.
Don't do it.
Oh, style pile driver. Unbelievable.
Words cannot begin to describe what we're seeing here.
Ty Conti and now the bunny with the brass knucks. Oh, the bunny. Oh, she's.
Oh my God.
Look at Anna Jay.
She's got barbed wire wrapped around her right arm.
Anna Jay wrapping her right arm in barbed wire.
Queen Slayer.
Now the Queen Slayer with the barbed wire. Anna Jay has got it cinched in.
That's got to be it. Get your ass.
And the bunny taps out.
Here are your winners, Ty Conti and Anna Jay.
Holy hell.
This was truly an unforgettable brawl, Tony. Let's take a look back at some of the carnage.
Yeah, early moments of the match here, Excalibur. They paired off, but then it got crazy on the outside. Look at the table didn't break on this. The chair broke on that, though. Then the thumbtacks were introduced. And while Ty Conti was taking care of business on the outside, the Queen Slayer with a barbed wire around the wrist got the win for Ty Conti and Anna Jay, an emotional win.
Well, coming up this Wednesday night, AEW Dynamite moves to TBS, and we kick off the new era with a highly anticipated rematch, Hangman and Danielson Part 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, your opening contest set for one fall with a 60-minute time limit is for the All Elite Wrestling World Championship.
You can watch that first match and you can see there was a huge percentage of the match where I had the upper hand, where I was in complete control.
I cannot explain the frustration, the disappointment that I felt when we ran out of time, because I knew had I 3-4 more seconds, I would have pinned him and retained the World Championship. In my 3 years here in AEW, I had never felt less of a champion.
I kicked your ass for 60 minutes, and if anybody should be AEW champion, it should be me.
Knowing that there's going to be 3 judges and knowing there will not be a draw if it goes 60 minutes, I mean, that doesn't change my strategy at all.
Everybody will see and everybody will know that the true AEW World Heavyweight Champion is Bryan Danielson.
I didn't think it'd be possible to look forward to this rematch anymore.
Big time challenge accepted by the champ.
There is a certain amount of prestige being in the first AEW World Heavyweight Championship match that airs on TBS. But to me, there's no added pressure. You know, I don't feel pressure anymore.
He won't get tired. He won't get bored. So the only option that I have for January the 5th, I'm gonna have to beat his ass as fast as possible.
Can the Hangman Adam Page beat Bryan Danielson in less than 1 hour?
I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do what I do best, which is break people down.
The answer will be yes.
The rematch that the world is waiting for. The TBS era of Dynamite begins this Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. And what better way to start things off than with Hangman versus Danielson Part 2 for the AEW World Championship with 3 ringside judges in the event of a time limit draw. The inaugural TBS champion will be crowned with Jade Cargill and Ruby Soho meet in the tournament finals. Brian Pillman Jr. looks for revenge against the mystifying Malachi Black, and MJF, widely known for seeking out the toughest competition, will be in action. Plus, the AEW World Tag Team Championship will be on the line with Rey Fenix and Penta El Zero Miedo defend against the top-ranked Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Then 1 week from tonight, Rampage on TNT. Tony Khan has made it official. Kingston, Santana Ortiz battle Daniel Garcia 2.0. No disqualification, no rules, no holds barred. Then Saturday, January 8th, 8 p.m. Eastern, live on TNT, the Battle of the Belts. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, defends the AEW Women's World Championship against the #1 contender, Riho. But coming up next, All Ego Ethan Page challenges Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship. And let's throw it over to Mark Henry, standing by.
Thanks, guys. Dan Lambert, you're making this personal between the Nightmare Family and America's Top Team. Why?
I didn't make this personal. The Rhodes family made this personal by cutting backstage deals with the owner of the company to steal opportunities from other wrestlers that actually earn them. Corporate conspiracies to plug reality shows and make the host of the Go Big Show a champion. I got news for you, Mark Henry. The whole locker room has taken this personally. The Men of the Year just happen to be the only ones with balls big enough to say something about it. And tonight, in the last match of the year, Ethan Page will do something about it.
Oh, Dan, ooh, we are so frightened. Let me introduce you to myself, who I am. I'm one of those guys that sees things the way they are, not how I want them to be. I know you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu yourself. I know that Scorp, I know that Ethan are world-class athletes. You've got a really tight crew there. But the problem is, I'm Arn Anderson. I'm not standing around out there because I'm photogenic. I put a stop to things when they start. So just a warning, you made this personal, you went after his wife, you went after his brother. Now, my friend, he's not going to exercise that privilege he has, which is he doesn't have to beat you, you got to beat him. I got a feeling he's going to be strictly on the offense.
Well, it looks like we've had enough talk. It's time for the main event.
Now is the next chapter.
It's a new day.
Here they go! This is only the beginning.
It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. I can't believe what I just saw.
I can watch matches like this every day. Dynamite, no doubt about that.
AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite, the TBS premiere live at Ace.
It's main event time here on AEW Rampage.
And you can better believe tempers are going to be flaring here after what we saw on Dynamite.
Tony, once again this past Wednesday night on Dynamite, Dan Lambert was levying accusations of corruption against Cody Rhodes. Brandy had heard enough. Dustin Rhodes tried to intervene, but the cheap shot from Ethan Page adding even more fuel to the fire. It was already intense TNT Championship match here tonight on Rampage.
Wrestling has only one loyal fan.
Just under 1 week ago, Cody Rhodes became the first ever three-time champion here in AEW when he reclaimed the TNT Championship on Christmas night.
Good to see Lee Johnson, Rock Anderson come out.
I feel like they're in harm's way.
I think they're just going to wish him some luck and let him do it on his own. Oh,
Look at that. Got to catch a nap. Cody is such a polarizing figure.
And reminder, the Shop AEW New Year sale starts tomorrow and lasts through January 6th. You can take 20% off when you use promo code AEW2022 at shopaew.com. Now, let's throw it down to the Dapper Yapper himself, Justin Roberts, for the introduction.
Jacksonville, Florida, your Rampage main event set for one fall or TV time remaining is for the TNT Championship. Introducing the challenger, accompanied by Dan Lambert and Scorpio Sky. From Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, weighing 225 pounds, Old Ego Ethan Page.
All Ego Ethan Page, a stellar singles and tag team record in the year 2021.
Yeah, notice Dan Lambert's not in the ring.
And his opponent, being accompanied by the Enforcer, Owen Anderson. From Atlanta, Georgia, weighing 223 pounds, he is the reigning and defending TNT champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
I tell you, you can cheer him, you can boo him, but you can't deny the intensity he brings to a match.
Absolutely.
It was a dramatic back and forth battle on Christmas night between Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. Ultimately, Cody prevailed and reclaimed that TNT championship. You know he's not going to let go of it again without fighting with every fiber of his being.
What a classic match Cody and Sammy had on Christmas. One of my favorites in recent time.
And this being the very last pro wrestling match of 2021.
Free Paul Turner calls for the bell, and Cody Rhodes comes out of the gate with a body shot. It's all Ego Ethan Page.
I don't blame him. I love a quick start. I like when the guys are aggressive out of the gate. The hell with this collar and elbow tie-up. Hit something.
Cody grabs the side headlock. Headlock takeover. Cody just wrenched those hips.
You know, this can be a very historic night for Ethan Page to claim the TNT Championship on the very last pro wrestling show of 2021.
What a way for Ethan. Oh, Dan Lambert grabbing the boot of Cody Rhodes and a blindside shot.
Yeah, Cody needed to turn his attention back to the ring quickly.
Ethan Page. Wow, vertical suplex.
Beautiful. Great execution.
Far leg hook, just a 1 count.
Well, that really stung Cody. Look at this. He was slapping the back of his head, slow to get to his feet.
And you notice the ring restored to order by our hardworking production crew after that street fight. Can't mention our crew without mentioning our executive producer, Keith Mitchell, retiring after 40 years in professional wrestling, leaving this business much better than when he found it.
Absolutely. I've known Keith since 1990. Not a better executive producer and not a better man who knew how to treat people, and that's why he stayed in the business for so long.
Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, pursuing All Ego Ethan Page. Out to the apron. Oh, right hand. Polarizing reaction for Cody Rhodes. As we've seen as of late, Cody was thinking crossroads, Ethan Page.
Wow. Caught the toe of that boot.
He sure did. With that kick off his back, and Ethan Page. It's a flying shoulder tackle.
Nicely done by Page.
I think Cody let the people here at Daly's Place get in his head a bit.
Good point, Ricky. You're exactly right.
Oh, look at that helping hand. Who the hell is this? Don't know him, don't care. Keep it moving, baby.
Cody Rhodes, the TNT champion, now at the mercy of the challenger, All Ego Ethan Page.
Arn is helpless. Arn can't do anything for Cody right now without throwing this match out.
And he shouldn't.
Ethan Page landed a heavy shot to the jaw, but Cody turns it around on the challenger.
Oof. You can see those burn spots on Cody's back. As a person who was burned, I tell you, they don't heal all the way. It still hurts, it's still tender.
Yeah, you're right, it's a good point. And that match against Andrade El Idolo.
Cody scored the victory, but it was not without a cost. All Ego Ethan Page gonna make the most his opportunity to close out 2021 with a championship. But Cody, that chop block, did you see how Ethan Page just folded in half?
Yeah, and Cody's going to stay right on the leg. This is an Arn Anderson coaching tactic right here. Stay on one part of the body.
Well, also, Tony harkens back to another Rhodes family member here in Florida. Isn't that figure 4? No.
It's nice. It's a form of Indian deathlock.
Yeah.
Well, our main event, the TNT Championship match, will continue in picture-in-picture, but you won't miss a second of the action.
I know a thing or two about going big.
Cody Connor, center of the ring.
But Go Big Show defies expectations. It defies the odds. It even defies gravity. No! I'm Cody Rhodes, and this is Go Big Show.
You're watching the impossible happen.
Go Big Show. New season premieres Thursday at 9 on TBS.
USAA is made for the safe pilots. For Mac, who can come to a stop with barely a bobble. Lucia, who announces her intentions even if no one's there. And Sergeant Moore, who leaves room for her room. With USAA Safe Pilot, when you drive safe, you can save up to 30% on your auto insurance. Get a quote and start saving. USAA, what you're made of, we're made for.
Had enough? No, arthritis. Here, Aspirin arthritis. Full prescription strength. Reduces inflammation. Thank the gods. Don't thank them too soon.
Kick pain in the Aspirin.
Some people say, if you want to see America, see it on the 4th of July. But America is just as beautiful on the 4th of January or February. Stripped of its leaves, but not drained of its color. No one experiences a true American winter the same way. But those with the confidence and capability in the all-new 2022 Grand Wagoneer will remember the adventure as long as they live.
Cutting your burrito? You're such a Virgo. And you have serious Libra vibes. You got 2 different burritos because you couldn't decide. It is not an easy decision. That's exactly what a Libra would say. Says the girl who cuts her burrito.
It's negative 119 degrees outside. A brighter future awaits. Beyond the train. You found a survivor. Now we go back to the others.
There's only one conductor.
To new beginnings.
We'll finish this where we started.
Snowpiercer premieres January 24th on TNT. Spider-Man No Way Home is the best Marvel movie of all time.
Well, I'm in.
And is now certified fresh with incredible scores on Rotten Tomatoes.
Maybe run it by us next time you break the universe. Deal.
Rated PG-13 in theaters now.
Better luck next time.
Who said that?
I did.
But I haven't even thrown yet.
You threw good money away when you bought those glasses. Next time, go to America's Best, where 2 pairs and a free exam start at just $69.95. It's a quality exam worth $50.
Can't beat that.
Can't beat this either. All right, I'll give you that one. And apparently that one. 2 pairs and a free exam starting at just $69.95. Book an exam today at americasbest.com. Somebody sign this kid.
Introducing the all-new Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar. It combines shaving and gentle exfoliation into one efficient stroke for a shave as quick and easy as washing your face.
We're back with you on our main event here on AEW Rampage Excalibur. Ricky Starks and Tony Schiavone as All Ego Ethan Page fighting on one leg against the champion, the TNT champion, Cody Rhodes.
A hell of a back-and-forth battle, but Cody has had the upper hand using the leg as a point of offense.
And Cody Rhodes looking to neutralize the strength and striking advantage of All Ego Ethan Page. Ricky.
You know, I think Cody was getting his energy from the people earlier. Back and forth. Now look, tides have changed.
Cody back into the ropes. This reversal, and Ethan Page just lays out with the clothesline.
He's a great striker, man. He is fundamentally sound as anyone.
He's a black belt in karate and taekwondo, is All Ego Ethan Page. And that's why Cody Rhodes has been focusing on that left knee, but the back body drop of the challenger.
Gotta fight through it, Ethan. You gotta fight through it, buddy.
Page lands the DDT on Cody Rhodes right in front of Arn Anderson. 2? No.
Was not a good cover, but I get it. It's been a hell of a match. He's taken a lot of punishment, but it was not a good cover by Page.
Tell you from experience, it's not wise to turn your attention to Arn.
Yeah.
It's gonna cost you.
Oh, wait, Scorpio Sky!
Just a few moments. I was thinking this would happen. Arn's had enough.
Ethan Page. Oh, wait, look at Dustin Rhodes!
I don't blame him.
Dustin Rhodes taking the fight to Scorpio Sky.
Whoa, boy, they're fighting outside.
Now spilling into the crowd here in Daly's place.
Page better turn around.
Keep your eye on the prize, Ethan.
Did Page through the right hand? Cody.
Oh, no.
Full Nelson.
Full Nelson. Crossroads.
That should do it.
Cody floats over, covers. No!
Oh my God! Arn can't even believe it.
Yeah, Cody needs to knuckle under here. Go back to the attack, because that fight's going way up the stairs here at Daly's place.
And remember, Cody Rhodes is just 6 days removed from a very, very physical match with Sammy Guevara.
What's he doing? Uh-oh.
Cody.
That's a knee brace that he's got on that left knee.
Trying to tear away the knee brace of Ethan Page. The knee is exposed, and Cody's game plan, if it wasn't apparent already,
different side of Cody that I'm seeing here that I'm not used to be honest with you.
Well, you know what? I like the aggressiveness. I really do.
Well, Cody's had the TNT Championship slip through his grasp twice already. He's not going to let it happen a third time.
Uh-oh.
Cody lost to Darby and Brody Lee in the TNT battles. Boy, Ethan Page got something left in him, doesn't he?
Ethan Page. Wait a second.
Oh, man.
Got Cody over the shoulder. Ethan Page.
Look at this. He's
almost on one leg. And the power slam.
But his knee.
The avalanche power slam. The near leg is hooked. Oh, Cody kicks out.
Yeah, it was the knee. Couldn't get a good cover because of the knee. I'm telling you, the final match of 2021, we're seeing a hell of a fight, guys.
This is awesome indeed. You have to give credit to All Ego Ethan Page. He is fighting through the pain.
Yep.
He is persevering here tonight against the TNT champion, Cody Rhodes.
You got to wonder how many title shots you'll get. You got to give it everything, right?
So true.
It comes so few and far between. Ethan Page looking to maximize his opportunity here tonight on New Year's Smash.
Yeah, now wait, we're having a New Year's Smash right now. They're just smashing the face of each other.
Cody drops to his back, the uppercut.
Wow, what a pump kick.
Pump kick, the roundhouse. Cody lands a roundhouse of his own, but Ethan Page putting those Taekwondo skills to good use. Ego's edge avoided by Cody. Cody off the ropes. Cody cutter.
Needs the covering, though. That's what Arn was saying, covering.
The left arm draped and whoa! 2.99 if there ever was one.
May have let that one slip by.
Look at the scowl on Arn's face there.
I think he's thinking the same thing there, Ricky, that he let it slip by.
Yeah, had that cover been more textbook, Cody could have ended this match right there.
Yeah, he pointed at Arn.
Cody steps around, and now the figure four leg lock, center of the ring.
We know who made the figure four famous, but his father, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, used to put it on many, many times right here in the state of Florida.
And Ethan Page trying to turn it over, trying to reverse the figure four, and he does!
He got it!
Arn is screaming, no, don't give it up! Arn's gonna position himself right in front of Cody.
And Ethan Page using every bit of strength left in his legs to push down, to return the force onto the lower extremities of Cody Rhodes.
Cody had that long reach there.
With a double underhook, no! Ethan Page, the jackknife, 1, 2, no!
Whoa, so close. So close many times by both combatants.
Yeah. Massive right hand as Ethan Page was hobbling into the corner.
Yeah, Cody lured him into that corner to hit him in the face.
These guys are spent.
Ethan Page, cross-arm iconoclasm. Maintains wrist control of Cody Rhodes.
It's the knees causing him trouble.
Yeah, the mobility of Ethan Page. A serious detriment right here.
Oh, he's going for the ego's edge.
Smart. Cody clasps the leg. No.
Wait a minute.
Turns him over. Crossroads.
Oh, he planted him at the crossroads. He's not done.
Cody, a second crossroads, and he hangs on.
This is how he beat Sammy Guevara.
Going for a third one.
Now the boot to the midsection. The double underhook. And Cody Rhodes, Tiger Driver 98. The cover. And the champion retains.
There it is, your winner. And still TNT champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Tiger Driver 98 ends 2021.
And Cody Rhodes walks into the new year and still the TNT champion. Ricky, we saw a different side of Cody, a more aggressive side here tonight in his third reign as champion.
A side that I've never seen before, but I'll tell you this, it got the job done. Congrats to Cody on retaining the TNT championship.
It's a side he needs to keep moving forward, and Arn Anderson's reminding him of that. Be aggressive. Well, I'll tell you guys, it's been a great year. We look forward to being on TBS on Dynamite in 2022 coming up this Wednesday.
That's right. AEW Rampage will remain right here on TNT, but starting this Wednesday night, the TBS era of AEW Dynamite, Hangman Adam Page, Bryan Danielson, Part 2, Wednesday night on TBS. Good night and Happy New Year, everybody.